Hello and welcome. We're going to talk about comments. How fun. Some people love comments and write them everywhere. Some people hate them and don't write them at all. My advice is don't write comments everywhere. You don't have to. You're a programmer. You know how to read code. Especially if you're following the principles we talked about in the previous video. We want our code to be self-documented, which is the code that you write is so descriptive that you don't need comments for it. It's self-expressed. You can read it like a prose. This is what you should strive for. Let's see an example. I will wait for 5 seconds, take a look at the code, and we will talk about it after that. Are these comments helpful? This field is for the year. This field is for the day. I know, I can read. I can see that this is a field. And I can see the name of it. I don't need a comment for that. See the method comment. It just repeats the method name. It doesn't make sense to write comments like that. Don't do it. There are two main reasons for that. First of all, it's not needed since it's perfectly clear even without them. Second of all, it takes more time and effort because you need to update the comments and think about them. Many times you might not update them and then they become even more useless than they already are. Not only they become useless, but they might also become misleading. Just don't do it. I think this was very obvious and you don't need much more persuasion. Let's move on. Do we need that comment? Pause for a second and think about it. Nope, we don't need that one as well. We talked about this in the smaller method video. We want to extract as much as logically possible. Comments like this are a great indicator that we should extract the logic. That's better. This is an example of self-documented code. Instead of having a comment, we just created a method and its name serves as a comment. I want to show you how you can get the whole comment and convert it to a method. The advantage for that is that we have smaller methods and the documentation doesn't have to be updated. Because, check that, we don't have one. Haha. Okay. Of course, there are places that's a good idea to write comments. For example, if you have a code that you cannot make it self-documented, like Regex. We will see an example for that in a minute. Or if you're writing an API or library that many people use. And here is a simple diagram to follow. Is my code easy to read if someone else reads it for the first time? If yes, leave it as is. If not, try to make it more expressible by extracting code into variables, methods and classes. If that doesn't help, write a comment. Also, note something. It's hard to tell if your code is easy to read by someone else, especially at the beginning, but with time you will get feeling for that, I promise. Let's see a little bit of code. For those who are not familiar, this is Regex. Don't worry if you don't know what it is, you can Google it. Long story short, Regex is a pattern which you can match the text. The point is, this is hard to read. If you see the text which we tried to match, we can get a clue. User.getEmail. So this is some regex that matches emails. But what exactly does it match? Valid emails or invalid emails? Who knows? To make it more expressible, we can extract the regex into a variable and make it more clear, as so. That's better, but still it's hard to understand. Okay, email matching pattern is often used, but imagine this was custom regex. When you have a regex, especially a long one, write a comment to describe it, as so. That's better. Just pause the video and see the three differences. You are smart, I won't dig more into that topic. Now, I will say a few words about commented out code. Just delete it. don't comment out code. Most of the time you forget about it and it will rot. And if you need it, you will probably rewrite it anyway because you've forgotten that existed in the first place. If the code is that important, you can recover it from the version control system. That's that. See you in the next video.